Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or as I like to call it, our little corner of the internet, which I love so very much. Really excited to go over these clips with you today. Of course I am. So just remember, this is for entertainment purposes only, okay? Do your own research, come up to your own conclusions. I'm not here to tell you what you think. I'm just here to try and get you to think. So let's just have some fun and get to it.
Of dropping my very haunted doll off at my storage unit because he's been a very bad man. Went to the store, I got a huge thing of salt. All right, here we go, guys. It is so creepy in here. Here we are. It's a little bit of a mess, so I don't know where he's gonna go, but we gotta find him a place. I cleared a space in here, but this keeps going off. Like, look at this. I'm using natural sea salt. I'm gonna put a ring of salt around him, and then I'm going to bind him to this circle. It's so important that we make sure that the entities are binded to this salt circle so that he cannot fuck with anybody else, if you know what I mean. So we're gonna do a double salt, and we needed a little extra. Oh my God, ever since I put the salt around him, this is going crazy. Like, am I insane? Am I manic? I don't know. Okay, let's go bind him, make sure that he is here to stay. Calling in my guides and my angels to help protect me against all evil and whatever evil entities may be attached to this doll. Please bind this entity or entities in this salt ring of protection, where he or she or whoever it is here to stay indefinitely. I surround myself with love and light and the protection of my guides and my angels.
I'm just gonna go ahead and stop this right here. One, what in the is that doll? I mean, that is no normal doll. That is clearly a voodoo doll, right? I don't even know what to say. And you're gonna put it in your storage unit? Like, that's not gonna anger whatever this situation is. It's still amongst your things. You're gonna have to go back for it eventually. And the salt ring, I mean, you're kind of in the salt ring with your little hand thing, right? Why do you, don't mess with voodoo stuff. And now her little magic doll has turned against her to the extent she needs it out of her house. Do we need more of a warning? These things aren't toys. When I was looking for videos today, there were so many of those like strange, like staring into the mirror, Bloody Mary things, but a lot of variations of those. There are crazy ones out there now. And I actually have a book filled with them that I found at a secondhand store that I don't even want to share the stuff in it. I had the idea to have a full channel that was just dedicated to that, but I don't know if it's worth messing with this stuff. Because you know people are going to try it. It's not just going to be, okay, I'm doing this to show you. It's going to be, ooh, instructional. No.
If your dog starts growling at a doll or object, get rid of it immediately. A babysitter recorded a haunting series of events where the girl he's babysitting tells him there's a doll that moves on its own while she's playing hide and seek.
You said it moves? This doll? Yeah. What? When does it move?
Curious to see if this creepy doll really moves, he plays hide and seek with it.
Oh my God, Sadie, you scared me.
The dog goes towards him in a playful manner, but later in the night, after finding him growling at the doll, he realized the dog was trying to protect him. In a dark room, ominously, the doll lifts up its head to make eye contact as it falls backwards.
That's so weird. Obviously fakeable, but if the dog did seem a little... And again, you guys know I'm always going to say I tend to believe the dog. I tend to believe the instincts of animals. Who else is interested in medieval torture devices?
Alright, let's talk about it. This video went super viral with thousands and thousands of people asking, what exactly is this? Being the strange, morbidly curious person I am, I decided to look into it. You can find that device as well as countless other interesting items at the Lara Museum in Ronda, Spain. The museum is the private collection of Juan Antonio Jury. I took the 3D tour of the historical building and it is filled with dozens and dozens of antique watches, clocks, cameras, bullfighting paraphernalia, and much more. The cellar, which is by far the most interesting in my opinion, is known as the Living Inquisition. Down in the cellar showcases things from the Spanish Inquisition as well as witchcraft. They also have a slew of other torture devices, the rack, the iron chair, and the Judas cradle to name a few. That is also where you will find what is called the Compilation machine. A deep dive into who created this machine, what was it for, and when was it built, turns up nothing. I managed to find a few pictures of the paper that is located on the machine in the video, and it reads as follows. The sex for Christianity is the most shameful act a human being can show. For this reason, it was thought to regulate it in a serious way. It was fixed some days of prohibition and other days were authorized by only a procreation purpose. People who didn't obey these rules went to the hell. For witches were impossible to obey these rules the church imposed. My takeaway from that is that it was used against women or witches to punish them for indulging in such lewd acts. Still, so many questions. Let me know what you think down in the comments.
I think people wanted to watch people do weird stuff. I also have read about something similar to this in some medieval or Renaissance book or something like that. And I believe that they actually used to heat that part up before they did whatever it was that they were going to be doing with it. So even worse. Not heated to like a comfortable level. Heated like burning your insides.
There's a shack in northern Louisiana that causes those who enter to lose their minds. Are you brave enough to enter the Devil's Toybox? From the outside, the shack is unappealing and average, but inside is what gives this strange place its dreadful reputation. According to several sources, the inside of the shack consists of a maze of floor-to-ceiling mirrors. No one can last more than 5 minutes in this room. People who have been unlucky enough to stumble upon the Devil's Toybox have been hospitalized and driven mad. Dozens of teenagers have been seriously disturbed and horrified at what they saw inside and were unable to last more than just a few seconds in this real-life horror attraction. Local legends say that if you stand inside the mirror room alone for too long, the devil will appear before you and attempt to steal your soul by flaying you alive.
I have no way of verifying this aside from reading what other people say on the internet or going to Louisiana. So for the sake of wanting to put this video out today, I have not had a chance to get to Louisiana. But if I do, I will take photos, most likely from the outside, or interview people who went in. I'll do that for you. But yeah, would you guys go in someplace like this with a legend behind it like that? Is it worth the risk of exploring it for yourself, or is this something that's better not toyed with? I already know some people who are going to say each side of that coin. I already know who. Hey guys, just a super quick reminder that I make these videos every day, Monday through Friday. So if you're enjoying the content as much as I love creating it, go on ahead and hit that subscribe button so we can stay connected and you can join this amazing community that we're building here. We're just going to get right back to it. Let's go. And we're back. This is not paranormal in any way, but if any of you share this horrifying fear that I have, it will conjure something inside you like it did to me.
So right now,
and you know that when I feel a certain way, I need to share it with you so you feel it with me.
I'm breathing out. My shirt is just completely gone. I say completely gone. We'll find out. It might be okay. You never know. Sometimes it's just ripping tassels and such. But that almost took my pants off. That was not great. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to sort out my life in a minute here. Okay, I'm through. Big squeeze, last squeeze. Not really looking forward to this. This is very tight. Okay. I did it without my elbow pads last time. Is there any for that?
That's just something I wanted to toss in there for the sake of to share with you. I do not like tiny spaces. There's some movie, what is it called? It's not Descent or something like that, where there's a group of female cave people who like to do this kind of thing. I hear it's a really good horror movie with, you know, creatures down there and stuff. I just can't watch it because I know there's going to be these tight space scenes that I don't want to envision that, you know? Certain things I don't need, and that's one of them. Let me scooch. This is just one of those things that it clearly looked like a person. Right there. And then not a person. How many of you see this kind of stuff when you're wandering around your house in the night? Especially when you wake up at 3 a.m. or you just want a snack or something. Everything is something at 3 a.m. This is another just because from me to you. It's just that one quick little scene, but do you guys remember these things? Has anyone else ever seen this movie? Being a Wizard of Oz extreme fan myself, I saw as many movies as I could discover, and I think this was Return to Oz. And one of the things I loved about it was that her little companion was a hen that she would carry around. But one of the things that horrified me to my very core were these little wheeled guys, wheelies, or I forget what they were called. Why are they so scary? That's kind of why I included this. I wanted to know, why do you feel that they're so scary? Or are they not that scary? I think they're scary, but I can't pinpoint why. Because individually, the masks aren't scary. The wheels aren't scary. I'm going off on a tangent. It doesn't matter. This has nothing to do with what we usually talk about. I just saw it and I wanted to talk about this. You know, I'm random like that.
Things humans weren't meant to see.
This video of a dude finding a hole in the ground while he's on a walk is going viral. But he's going viral because of what he found in the hole in the ground. So what he finds under the ground looks like a staircase. And I don't know what possessed him to go down there, but he does it anyway. So now that he's underground, I'm going to speed through it because it goes pretty far down. And where it leads him is to a huge, ancient-looking door. And I don't know what possessed him, but he goes beyond the door. And what he finds down there is what's got people scratching their heads, some sort of tiled room. And on the other side of the room is a gate. And the creepiest part is the fact that there's carpet beyond the gate, and it looks like something you would see at a mall. To his direct right is a glass window, and when he looks through it and focuses the camera, it reveals that he's in a mall. And I'm not sure at what point he realizes it, because this is where the video ends. But Buddy is in the back rooms.
Okay. Obviously lost us at the back rooms because if we're being logical people, which we are, the back rooms are not real. It's not. It's obviously not. It's weird just thing, right? But the hole in the ground thing, there are things underground all over the place, so I wouldn't put it past any random hole in the ground to have some city or something underneath. I mean, we saw a video not too long ago of someone in Hollywood saying that they worked at one of the places one of the stores that are underground. So all the celebrities and whoever they don't want to walk amongst the people, so they live underground, basically. Not shocking.
Well, you'll notice this right after you go through security at the McNamara terminal at Metro Airport.
Yeah, it's a big screen offering up something called parallel reality to help passengers figure out where to go and a whole lot more. Evrod Cassidy live at DTW tonight. This looks pretty cool, Evrod.
Oh, it is absolutely incredible technology, Jason and Karen. You just have to see it for yourselves. Normally, when you're trying to catch your flight and you have to figure out what your gate information is, your boarding time, you would take a look at the big board right here and have to scan through all of the different flights that are on there. But now, Delta has created this personalized big board just for you. Watch this.
Oh my God!
This big arch and information desk is getting all kinds of reaction from passengers traveling through Metro Airport.
It's pretty cool.
Passengers like the Adi family had never seen it before and wondered, what the heck is it?
I was kind of surprised. I didn't know exactly what I was looking for because they didn't tell us what we were supposed to be looking for. So when I saw my name up there, I was like, can everybody see my information? Then I realized my sister could only see hers.
My first name is up there, and it says what medallion status I have, everything, pretty much all the details, which gate, how many minutes I had to walk through.
I see you trying to fool me.
There's no fooling here. With each Delta passenger walking through, the board displays only their travel itinerary.
I see that there's nothing on the screen.
But what do you see for you?
I see that there's hello Virgil, thank you for flying Delta.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about this. Here, there's another one. Let's learn a little more if we can.
Welcome to the future here at the Detroit airport. You scan your boarding pass, look up at a giant screen, and you see only your flight information, even how many minutes it'll take you to walk to your gate. But only you can see it. It doesn't matter if you're standing right next to one other person or 100. Each person only sees their own information. Mind blown.
It's otherworldly.
And I can't see a thing.
That is insane.
Can you read that for Mommy at the top? What does it say?
Hello, George.
What?
Really? No way, that's so cool. I can't see anything.
Like, I literally don't. How is that possible?
It's possible because of Albert Ng. Ng started developing his parallel reality technology in 2014.
Above our heads is a motion sensor that detects moving objects as they're walking around. It's non-biometric. It doesn't know anything about each of those objects that are walking around.
Pretty amazing. Congratulations on this.
It seems like a movie set in a slightly scary future where people's eyes identify them to advertisers on big screens. But this technology does not use your eyes or your face. The only thing that identifies you is the shape of your body.
That's remarkable that you're standing right next to me and you can't see that.
So even though the flight boards that exist today have the flight information, it's a list of 100 flights. It's on you to look through that flight information board to find your flight.
Ng says the technology is especially important for foreign travelers who don't always understand what's on the regular information boards. And his plan was to quietly debut this technology in Detroit for the masses, for ordinary travelers, with no facial scans, no apps, no gadgets, just a boarding pass. And his long-term vision?
So as soon as you enter the airport, greets you by name, lets you know where you need to go, which security checkpoint's the easiest for you, arrows lighting your path all the way through the airport towards your gate, reminding you how many minutes you have to walk.
And someday, you could see the technology in hotels, theme parks, and stadiums.
Okay. We're just talking about Minority Report, though, right? That's exactly what this is. 100 people can go by and see something different. Something is very unsettling about this. And don't tell me that you're not scanning any biometrics, any facial, and nothing. It doesn't see you as anything but like a blob, but it knows all of my flight information. That's not possible. Do you guys know about Valiant Thor? Probably, but we're gonna learn.
If you think that this guy right above me is a human, well, think again.
The dude's name is Valiant Thor, and apparently he came to planet Earth and spoke to President Eisenhower to discuss humanity's progress. At 8 a.m. on March 16, 1957, a giant saucer lands in a crop field about 20 minutes away from the White House. 2 local policemen arrive at the scene, and as they investigate the mysterious aircraft, they see the door on the saucer open and they draw their weapons. Now what comes out of the saucer ain't your typical 3-foot tall alien gray. It's a man that appears to be in his late 20s, 6 foot tall, and average build, brown hair, brown eyes. The only thing that stood out to the police was his outfit. He was wearing like a golden jumpsuit that didn't have any seams or pockets. He tells the cops that he means no harm and that he wishes to speak with President Eisenhower. Now the craziest part about this is that he communicates with the officers telepathically. The police don't even question his very particular request and take him straight to the Pentagon. He gets to the Pentagon and then they escort him down to a secret underground train station that connects the Pentagon to the White House. Valiant Thor gets to the White House and introduces himself to the president. Val tells the president he has traveled from, quote, the planet your Bible calls the morning star. Eisenhower's like, all right, that's straight. I'm familiar with Venus, which is the planet that he's referring to. Val then tells the president that he has been sent to Earth by a group called the High Council, which seems to be some kind of benevolent committee of intergalactic beings. Basically a bunch of aliens looking out for less intelligent beings like us. He tells the president that it's his mission to convince military leaders to deactivate their nuclear capabilities because it's not only a concern to the people of Earth, but it's a concern to people out in outer space. This gives credence to all the high-ranking government officials from all over the world that claim that there is a galactic federation out there. There's a lot more to Valiant Thor's story, so like for part 2, follow for more, and as always, keep it adrenalous.
Here's one more. Can anyone, I feel like a silly person for not knowing the answer, but who is this guy? Oh, Phil Schneider. I don't know anything about Phil Schneider, and I did not look into him before this, but he apparently knew of Valiant Thor as well. But who is Phil Schneider?
Picture of one of the aliens been working for the United States Pentagon for the last 58 years. His name is Valiant Thor. He's right here. There's my father in the background. This old place, the ready room of the USS Eldridge, Al Bielek has probably explained, or maybe even shown you this picture. There's a list of some of the notable people in it. They're all the atomic bomb scientists of the day, all the time variant experimentalists of the day, all the top physicists of that particular day. This was in August of 1943. Now this guy has not changed one iota in 58 years. Started work, he came here, crashed here or whatever, whether he's under duress or not. He started work for our U.S. Navy and military operations in 1937, either 37 or 38 is what I've been told. So it's for 58 years, this man's been employed, probably under duress. If you don't do as we say, we're just going to use you for alien bait or something, I don't know. But anyway, he basically hasn't changed. He lives for 490 years, is what he says his lifespan is. Now, he's supposedly a semi-benevolent, he's a human-looking type person. He has 6 fingers and 6 toes, and he's got one oversized heart, one lung, giant lung. His blood vessels are bigger. He's got copper oxide for blood, similar to an octopus. His brain capacity, 300 centimeters greater than ours. He has a thinking capacity, IQ, if you were to measure it, be totally off the scale, be about a 1200 IQ.
This is all extremely intriguing, and there's not a lot of evidence, that disputes it very well, but it's also very surprising to me how public this is. And I'm wondering if it's like the first taste of accepting aliens or extraterrestrial life here on Earth is putting this story out to see what people think. I'm wondering. but there's a lot of documentation and photos and stuff. But I just find it very hard to believe that if we took blood from this being and all of this stuff and we really knew, okay, he's communicating telepathically or has the ability to, his blood's made of something different, he doesn't age. I'm just compelled to think that he wouldn't be so public, that he'd be more of a science experiment. Right? I don't know. Not because that's what should happen, but because that's what happens. All right, this is a story. It's like 8 minutes long. If you don't want to hear it, I totally get it. I'm going to cut it off as soon as the story part is over, so it'll be much shorter. I may have talked about this before, but it is worth revisiting. Some coincidences are just too wild.
That you guys have tagged me in. So this one you guys have tagged me in literally nonstop, and I watched it, and I see why. Here, watch it.
Okay, I have to talk fast because I have to fit this all into one video, and this is going to be weird. It's been 37 years in the making, and I need to know what it means, okay? For 37 years, there has been a person who has existed on the periphery of my life. I don't know if he's a non-playable character. I don't know what he is, but this is the story of me and this boy. We'll call him Steve. I start preschool when I'm 3 years old. I go to preschool. There's this boy in my class named Steve. We go to preschool together. In kindergarten, we go to kindergarten together. Okay, it's not that weird. There's multiple kindergartens in this in the city that we lived in. It wasn't that strange, right, to end up at the same kindergarten. We're in the same class in kindergarten, first and second grade. But something happens in second grade. Okay, in second grade, my family moved from New York to Michigan. We moved away. I was a new kid in second grade. I start my new class. A couple months later, in my new second grade class in a new state, my teacher says, "Hey kids, we're getting a new kid." Guess who the kid is? Guess who it is? It's Steve. Steve comes walking in, and I'm like, weird, Steve. Did your family move here too? He's like, yep, sure did. Weird. So in second, third, and fourth grade, we're in the same class. In fifth grade, my parents switched houses in the same town that we lived in, but it was a big city, so we had to switch schools again. Thanks for that, Mom and Dad. So I'm a new kid, right, in fifth grade, starting on the first day, and my teacher's like, hey, there's another kid who also went to your old school. He's in the other class. Guess who it is? It's Steve. It's Steve again. Switched schools with me, again. In seventh grade, after we had been to the same middle school together as well, we moved back to New York, to a different town than we originally lived in, okay? And I start there, and we moved in the middle of the year. Again, thanks, Mom and Dad. And so it's like November, I moved there. In May of that year, our teacher's like, hey, we have a new kid shadowing. He's also from Michigan, where you just came from. Guess who it is? It's freaking Steve. It's Steve again. His family also moved back to New York, to the same weird random town that we lived in. Okay, now's where the weird coincidences come. We go off to college. In 2004, I'm studying abroad my junior year in Madrid. It was 2004, so the Yankees and the Red Sox World Series thing was happening. There was a sports bar in Madrid that aired all of the games for Americans. I had my bucket of Corona in front of me because, of course, Americans. And in walks Steve to this bar. Steve came into this bar to also watch the Yankees and the Red Sox. He wasn't studying abroad in Madrid. He was studying abroad in London, right? Weird. He ended up at the same bar. We can explain that away. Again, Steve and I, not friends, not enemies. We just coexist. In December of that same year, my friends and I who were studying in Madrid decided to go to Prague to see it. To see Prague at Christmas time. We're supposed to go on a pub crawl. We missed that pub crawl. We decide to go on our own pub crawl. We end up in a random Irish pub in the middle of Prague. Who's there? Who's there sitting at a table? Steve. Steve's sitting at a table. He also went to Prague at Christmas time, and we happen to be at the same bar at the same time. Now, this morning, I'm in the copy room at work. I have a coworker who's talking about her fiance. I'm not friends with this girl. I barely know this girl. She mentions, oh, my fiance's Steve. And I go, excuse me, what's your fiance's last name? I felt like Brad Pitt with the box. What's in the box? What's in the box? What's his last name? Guess who it is? Guess who it is? It's Steve. It's the same Steve. What does it mean? What is...
First theory is that he's a stalker.
I'm just gonna go ahead and stop it so we don't have to listen to the whole damn thing. But I mean, there's coincidences, and then there's that. And of course, we're seeing it, we're hearing it from this person's perspective. So they're little kids. But we're forgetting there are adults involved in this too. So it's easy to be like, oh, Steve's a stalker. Well, he was just a little kid, but his parents weren't. So maybe one of his parents was like a stalker. Or I don't know. There's really no reason that all of these things should have happened at once. Not at once, but to these people throughout their whole lives. It's not like they, of course, the literary romantic inside me wants to say that they're soulmates or something like that, but That doesn't make any sense. They've known each other almost their whole lives. Something would have happened by now, right? I don't know. Very odd. This is our wholesome clip for the day. And how cute are little kids with Southern accents. It's like little British kids or little Scottish kids. It's like the cutest accents.
Grandma, do you want to play hide and seek? Do you want to play hide and seek? Oh, let's see. I don't know if I know how. Well, you hide, and we count and try to find you. Okay, what's next? But you can't really do it because I think you're too old to do that. Grandma, do you want
I think that's adorable, and it's just made so much even more adorable because of the little kid's accent, isn't it? It's not funny that he called his grandma old, but she thought it was funny, so it's cute, it's sweet, it's wholesome, and that's what we do here at the end because you gotta leave it on a happy note. I know sometimes we switch back and forth. Sometimes we have scary things, sometimes we have alien things, sometimes we have urban legendy things or holiday themed things. We're kind of all over the place. That's just what it is. So I never know what to make our titles. You know what I mean? So if anybody has any suggestions, let me know, because I never want to mislead anyone to think like, oh, you're going to be like so scared. Some days are like that, but some days are more just things to think about, which I think are just as important. So let me know your input. I would love to hear it. If anyone has any suggestions, go on ahead, send them to realdebontheweb@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. I just checked my email today and had an awesome video from someone, Christina. So let me know. I emailed you back. I just wanted permission before I shared your video because it was one that you took. So let me know if that's all good, and I will share that one tomorrow. And it's really good. And I hope everyone has a beautiful night. I hope your day is going great. I hope everyone's feeling relaxed. Everyone is hopeful. Everyone has great feelings and thoughts. I just want everyone to be happy. You know, I'm going over the top with it all, but you get the point. I just want you to be happy. And I'm grateful that you're here and choose to spend some of your time with me. It means a lot because time is the most precious thing we have. So on that note, I wish you good nights, good morning, good work, good family, good health, good everything. And good night, Grandma. Good night, family. Good night, you beautiful souls. I love you all. Signing off.